This is the Go Digital podcast, produced by Institut Français du Nigeria and Artec District. Okay, we're live. How you doing today?
Fine, good day.
Good day. How's your weekend been?
It's been crazy.
Oh, what did you get up to?
I had to go down to Enugu. I had an event where I was supposed to speak art, and then as I was there, we got posted, for school. So I had to start running back yesterday. So it's been a crazy weekend for me, bro.
Fair. That sounds very hectic. Well, speaking of events, like great work at the competition.
Thank you.
Last week, man, you did absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
So just out of curiosity, what kind of inspired that piece?
Oh, it's just for people who hustle from 9 to 5, people who hustle every day to make ends meet. I'm just trying to encourage them that, don't give up on that hustle. Keep on going, Even people that are insignificant, that I think, okay, what they're doing is not really important. I'm just like, we see you and, the universe sees you, and whatever you're doing, whatever endeavor you're into, it's going to pay off eventually. So just keep your head up and keep on working. So, yeah.
Fair. So would you consider yourself a hustler?
Yeah, I feel like everyone is a hustler, just at different levels.
Levels.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm a hustler. I am.
Fair enough. How did you get into the spoken word poetry space?
It's kind of a funny story because I was like back in 2015.
Okay, I like funny stories, so let's go. Hit me.
I've always been a lover of literature back in secondary school, and I've always been a good writer. You get, and then I've always been part of debate clubs and stuff like that. But poetry, the art of performing poetry, I never knew that existed. I just thought poetry was meant to be written and read. I never knew it was meant to be performed. That's like spoken word until I got into university, my first year. I went for this event, and then I saw this guy, like, he came on stage and he was marvelous. I mean, and I'm not usually impressed, So, but I was moved to the extent that I had to walk up to him after the event. I was like, I really loved what you did. What do you call this art? And then he told me it was spoken word, and we exchanged pleasantries and numbers, and then I kept on chatting him up, and then I joined his group. And then from then on, like, it's just been I never look back. I just started it, and you just know when something is for you. You just pick it up immediately, and it's just so easy for you. You get, so from like 2016, I started that journey.
Okay, amazing. So can you talk me through your process? So how do you normally get inspired to come up with your pieces? Where does it come from?
Inspiration. I can't really pinpoint one thing per se, if I'm being honest, because I feel like inspiration doesn't come often for me. I feel like I might write like only 2 poems in a year that are actually what I want to write.
Okay.
But then the remaining 5 or 7 I write for the rest of the years because I was told to, or because I have a job, or I have a competition I want to enter into. So mostly it's just things I see.
So I know you mentioned earlier about some of your pieces being very precious to you, and I will understand how those pieces take a bit longer to put together. So, are you able to think of your favorite one or your most powerful one, and just talk me through it? What was the inspiration behind it, and is there any sort of experience, any sort of life experiences that kind of drove you to put that piece together?
Okay, there's this piece titled Dream, and it was just born out of the desire to just follow your dream, stick to your craft, no matter how odd or unheard of people might say it is. And that's what kind of inspired that piece was my journey through this art called spoken word, because I feel like spoken word is not, or will I say poetry as a whole, is not a mainstream art. It's not the kind of art that you can get like, okay, let's say I want to be a poet in Nigeria. It's not a mainstream art that, okay, I can say, okay, I can be getting regular gigs to perform in like the rest of music, dancing and all that. So this piece was born out of a place of, okay, I'm not so sure I can make it, or poetry can put food on the table. But regardless, I'm going to try. I'm going to keep on dreaming because this is what I love. This is what I want to do. This is my happy place. This is where I find satisfaction. This is my niche. So it's just titled Dream. So that's where that piece was born from.
Okay. And have you had sort of naysayers on the way, people who didn't believe in your dream, and have you dealt with those people?
Yeah, sure.
All those experiences.
Sure. It's been a crazy story. I mean, first off, from family, because my dad is a lawyer.
Okay.
My mom is a lawyer. And out of 6 children, I decided to be a lawyer. You get? And I genuinely thought that was what I wanted to do, if I'm being honest, until I told you, when I went to school and I found poetry, and poetry just changed my mind. So at some point, it was, sometimes I had to, when there's a clash between school and poetry, and then I have an event somewhere, and then I'm like, okay, which one should I do? And then my father is like, okay, drop this poetry thing, focus on your studies, and when you're done, if that's what you want to do. But when you drop something for a long time and you don't do it for a while, you kind of miss out on a lot of things, because like, see, the world has changed, So I couldn't afford to say, okay, I'm going to leave poetry and just to focus on law, because I know that after I'm done, law is not something I want to do. And I have to keep up with the trend with poetry. So I got a lot of backlash from family, but there's nothing that pays more than when whatever you're doing starts yielding results. So at some point when I started and it wasn't really yielding anything, it was always but then when I started having some results and I went for some slams and I got some recognition here and there for my works, my dad began to believe, and now he's so supportive. He's so, he's been with me. He respects my decision. So it's not been easy, especially when it's coming from family, but I'm really glad they were able to hop on that train, and they're right behind me right now. And so that's all the encouragement I need.
I love it. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And I'm glad to see that they've been able to sort of warm up to you and your craft, and they're now able to support you.
Yeah.
To the fullest extent. And that's beautiful. That's amazing to experience.
Sure.
All right. So are you okay performing Dream for me today?
Yeah, sure. I would love to. It'd be an honor.
Okay, amazing. Go for it. Let's hear it.
Okay. There are things we won't say. Yet up until this day, I believe. If self-doubt was a religion, it would be the only thing we believe in. We are slaves to what we believe in. Caged in this penitentiary of faith, locked down with our dreams but never shut out of imaginations. So best believe our dreams will live on forever as long as unwavering hope lingers. Its abode is graced with a host of angels, singing songs of redemption to spark the resurrection of the fallen. When we fall, they bid us to rise. They call us to our higher selves. They remind us we can fly. They give us the courage to find strength in the beauty of our dreams, so those with vision could see and best believe that one day they too could fly, that beggars would ride, and those who stay faithful to the cause will stamp their legacy on the pages written in the sky. For true struggle is pain. Yeah, pain is gain, and all that painful stuff you went through was never in vain. So go slow, go steady, Go steady, go slow. Soon sister go blow and money go flow. Host shows on the grandest stages of them all. And like a star, yeah, like a star, you will shine like forever in the eyes of your fans until they are blind enough to see that dreams do come true if only you believe. Men, go ahead and dream. Go for the gold. We need no silver spoons because wealth is not determined by material goods. Instead, stack knowledge up high to climb past the past. Dig deep enough to pour past the last. You had to overcome just to remember where you came from and where you're going. Men, go ahead and dream. For every question, you have the answer. You are the solution to your problem and the light at the end of every dark tunnel. You have the King Kong breathing down your chest. The crest of S is clearly embedded on your vest. And if your dreams don't scare you enough, then you haven't started yet. So start it here. Go ahead and dream.
Wow. That was amazing, man. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Like, I feel like I want to recite that every morning to myself in front of the mirror because it's like, I can literally feel the passion, in it.
Yeah.
It's such a wonderful piece. Amazing stuff.
It's born out of a place of truth. So
yeah, I can, and that comes forth, in your delivery as well.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Okay. So what would be your advice to people who wanted to get into spoken word and poetry?
My advice, I mean, I feel like your biggest motivation is you. The best advice you can get is the one you give yourself, you know. So I feel like there's nothing I'm gonna say that hasn't been said before, but just be consistent, be perseverant, be sure of what you want to do, be sure, like, let your art consume you. Don't be jumping from one thing to the other. I feel like just stick to what you know, be persistent, and be consistent. And I'm 100% sure that if you have these things in your arsenal, you will surely go far. Yeah, so that's just what I have to say to them.
Yeah. Thank you very much.